Welcome back. So in this lesson, I will briefly compare the BRICS countries in terms of some data. So first of all, I should mention that recently this original group of BRICS countries was further extended when in January 2024, four countries, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, and the United Arab Emirates also joined the bloc. Um, According to the news, also Argentina was invited, but when there was after the presidential election, the new government of Argentina withdrew from this coalition, and then the membership of Saudi Arabia is also somewhat in doubt because in some statistics Saudi Arabia is included in BRICS Plus, but it seems Saudi Arabia has not yet fully confirmed that is it part of this group or not. And then there are also 13 additional so-called partner countries that they participate at least partly in this BRICS Plus activities and discussions. So what about the size of these BRICS economies in terms of the GDP? So this is this not per capita terms, but in absolute term in trillions of US dollars. So these diagrams I found from the BBC based on World Bank and OECD GDP figures. So this figure quite well summarizes that China of course has the biggest economic muscle in this BRICS group of countries. Then followed by these original members, India, Russia, and Brazil. And then these newest members then of course are much smaller in terms of the size of the economy. This figure also includes Saudi Arabia, although its status as a member or non-member is still somewhat in doubt. But that also kind of indicates that indeed BRICS and BRICS Plus is not really any kind of solid international organization, but more like a discussion club. And in terms of the economic power, then China, of course, has this kind of large voice over this other BRICS partners. So I found also some interesting data from the European Parliamentary Research Service that compares these BRICS countries in many different aspects. So on this slide there is this Human Development Index that I referred to already earlier. That is based on the life expectancy at birth, average duration of education, GDP per capita. So it's kind of aggregate of many different dimensions. And another one is the Corruption Perception Index. So this diagram then indicates, so for example, if you look at this Human Development Index, so there is this range of countries from a very low human development to the high human development. And here is for comparison, Denmark is indicated as example of the high human development European country, which is not of course part of BRICS. It's just for the sake of comparison. Here is also BG is Bulgaria. This kind of indicates the range of where the EU member states would rank in this human development. So there is only Russia and United Arab Emirates are within this range of the EU countries. So compared to the EU nations, then most countries of the BRICS Plus group are in this rank lower in the Human Development Index, and particularly Ethiopia has a very low level of human development according to this index. So this indicates that it's not really very like a unified group. This group of BRICS countries, and also the level of human development varies quite a lot, even within this group. So there is relatively advanced countries like the United Arab Emirates, and in contrast to Ethiopia, which ranks in this more lower end of the Human Development Index. Maybe a common issue of the BRICS countries is this relatively high level of corruption. So in this lower continuum, these circles, they also refer to countries. So to the left, there's most corrupt countries, and then to the right, there's most clean countries. So here is then Denmark is indicated as this extreme of the EU countries, and then here is Hungary is then this kind of example of the bottom end of the EU countries. So only the United Arab Emirates would be somewhere within this range of the EU countries, and most of the BRICS member states are actually have issues with high corruption. Here is particularly Iran and Russia are among the worst, but also countries such as India and China and South Africa have also a lot of issues with the corruption. So at least that's one common feature of many common to me this BRICS plus group of countries. In terms of, for example, GDP per capita, this figure illustrates this large differences in this nation. So for comparison, so these are in dollars per capita. So for comparison, in 2023, the average GDP per capita of the EU 27 was 57. So here is this 50 is roughly where the EU average would be. So there is a relatively high income country of the United Arab Emirates thanks to its oil revenues on the rightmost. But then there is very poor countries like Ethiopia included in this diagram. So even this kind of GDP per capita comparison indicates that this BRICS plus is not really very unified group of countries. That in terms of the economic development, there's huge differences. Compare, for example, this even Russia's $35,000 to 3.8 in Ethiopia. Then if you think about culture and social norms, so one interesting indicator is, for example, the female labor force participation, which can be seen as kind of indicator for the at least some kind of rough indicator for gender equality. So in some countries such as China or somewhat surprisingly Ethiopia, but also Russia and South Africa, the female labor force participation is very close to the EU average. But then there exist countries like Iran, where this is only 14.4%. And of course, the female labor force participation doesn't mean that there would be, for example, wage equality. It just kind of indicates this kind of values of this country. So in that sense, also the values of the countries differ a lot, and there exist, for example, countries such as Iran and Egypt, United Arab Emirates, where this kind of religion is has very important role compared to then more secular countries like China or Russia. Then if you think about, and we have talked about this foreign direct investment, FDI, so also in terms of the prospects of investments, and this, of course, this FDI is also very important for the long-term growth prospects. So we see that their BRICS Plus group includes countries that appear to be very attractive for the foreign investors, such as Brazil or United Arab Emirates, and increasingly also Ethiopia. But then there is also countries such as Iran, which has which is suffering from the sanctions and has very little foreign direct investment. For Russia, the foreign direct investment used to be very good, but in the recently, since the invasion to Ukraine, that has become negative because actually foreign companies are leaving the country rather than coming in. And we see also a clear declining trend also for China. So in more recently, it's only at about 1%. So in the next video lesson, then I will continue on the theme of how the EU trade with the BRICS countries is currently and how it has been developing. See you then.